We'll teach Donald Trump a valuable lesson.
You understand me? When y'all saying my name, put some respect.
Well, welcome to the Krusty Towers, where our motto is Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself.
Yo, you about done?
In the arms of the...
True internet suffered the pressure.
So here's my official answer, for the record. Kiss my ass.
I want to talk to you, motherfucker!
I had not seen that. Oh, you really want to invoke? You want to invoke so much.
You really need to add a clip of Nick Fuentes in there, Honda, of him just talking about the Jews.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I don't know. I found that clip of Alex Jones. I guess it's he's talking about Jewish people casting spells on things. So that's him being a Jewish person casting a Jew spell.
So that's how that works.
I mean, supposedly the whole broadcast thing actually is witchcraft.
Go on.
Yeah, that's all I got on that one. Like, that's what I heard years ago. Was somebody talking about that?
I mean, if you think about it from a certain point of view, words are like magical spells if you know how to use them. You can invoke anger, you can invoke hatred, you can invoke fear, you can invoke pride, you can invoke like positive things, depending on the words that you choose to use when you're speaking to an individual or a group. So yeah, words kind of are like a magical spell if you use them in a certain way, you know, if you're, and some people do it without even trying, you know, some people are just persuasive in the way that they speak about things. Go ahead.
Remember, Aaron spoke for Moses. Like when they went to go see Pharaoh, Moses wasn't talking. Aaron spoke for Moses. Even the things that like God told Moses to say, like Aaron spoke for it, like he was a speaker for him. So go back like all through time. It's very important. Speech and how someone talks, even if the person's representing someone else. So yes, I would agree with you wholeheartedly.
Chasing Ghosts is out there talking about the Epstein list and Trump being on it. Do you guys think Trump's on the Epstein list? Is that why he's not releasing it and why he's all fucking...
Okay, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, and it totally changed my whole thought process. I don't think he's on it. Because if he was on it, and Biden had it, he would have released it. Right. Or they're all on it.
Right, but yeah, if they're all on it, then nobody would.
But I gotta believe that no one's on it.
So I think that the thought behind why Trump is nervous about releasing the list is the following: that the Democrats and the deep state who hate Trump have had control of this information and this list for at least the past 4 years straight. More than that, really. But for the past 4 years, while Trump's been out of office, while Biden's been in, they've had control of this information, and they've presumably had the ability to manipulate the information or add little tidbits or whatever they wanted to do in that period of time. And while there probably isn't a video or, you know what I mean? Because if there was a video or something concrete and definitive, we would have seen it, I think, because of what we were talking about the other week. And I think that logic still holds. But I think it's also logical to think that because the people who hate Trump had control of the list, they might have put some fake information in there. They might have put some like breadcrumbs that lead down a path to nowhere, but might seem like it goes to somewhere, kind of thing. You know?
Yes, I would agree. I wouldn't put it past them, but it was handled so bad. And I'm trying to be behind old boy and the administration because I think it's our chance. It's like I don't know if it's our last chance or we got more. But
I forget what it was that Trump said, but it kind of seemed like he was priming people to know that once this information is released, that just because your name is on the list does not mean that you've been to the island, and that, you know what I mean? Just because you're
yes,
on, like, so presumably the reason that he would prime people with that information is because his name is somehow thrown into that bucket, whether it's legitimate or not. And he wants to prime people to know that, you know, just because you're on that list doesn't mean that you're compromised, which
right.
I think is probably true, honestly.
Because he knew him, a bunch of people knew him, he knows a bunch of people, and now that could be true as well, because everyone's on the list, and it doesn't mean you're a scumbag. It means that you knew him and you hung out or you were in areas with him, but you didn't do things. I don't know. But I also think you're probably a scumbag anyways if you hang out with all those people.
But then there was two things that fucking kind of got me a little bit that I didn't really know what to do with. And I don't remember the girl's name, but she was the masseuse girl who was underage when she gave massages to Prince Andrew. There's that famous picture of her and Prince Andrew. She was like the most famous of the Epstein list fucking victims.
Oh gosh.
Right? And she was recently involved with a court case where she's dead now.
Oh yeah, that's convenient for them, for the bad, horrible people, like, I don't know, the princes of a country who just, unalive someone probably for that reason. That's terrible, man. There's all kinds of horrible stuff with that.
So I did not know this, and this is by no means information that I like. But the place where Jeffrey Epstein first found this girl and brought her into his employment, brought her to the island afterwards and stuff. Do you know where she was working before?
Where?
Mar-a-Lago as a masseuse.
Oh gosh.
Does that mean that she was doing that at Mar-a-Lago? I don't know. Could it be that Jeffrey Epstein like found her at Mar-a-Lago and was like, "Wow, she's just what I'm looking for," and then like recruited her and then groomed her and got her to do things later? Maybe. I don't know. I don't think we'll ever know. She's dead now. But I did not know that her employment record went the most famous Epstein fucking victim. Her employment record went from Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein. That's either a fucking hell of a coincidence or there's something to that. So that kind of put me off a little bit when I learned that. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on that little piece of information?
It's difficult because I'm never going to be in a position where I defend someone else for their actions like that. Like I said, you got to remember, all of these people, I think, have a line of scum in them, and I think we got to be real careful on putting people up on a pedestal. Although I may align myself with a majority of the political aspirations and beliefs that they spout, you've got to be careful. These are humans who are full of sin, like all of us. Now, some more than others, obviously, with some horrible tastes and likes, which we are deprived and are nasty people. But that's why you got to be careful who you hitch your buggy to, because then stuff like this happens. It's gross, man.
And when it comes to like the Ghislaine Maxwells of the world, the people who were working for Epstein, who have been like punished now, let's say, like she's in prison because of things, right? And everyone's like, oh, she shouldn't be let out of prison because she was the one who was helping him get kids and stuff. And it's like, yes, the abuse of children is wrong, and absolutely we should fight against it at every fucking turn. But this story, this whole Jeffrey Epstein story, while it involves the abuse of children, is not about the abuse of children. It's about blackmail against the most rich and powerful people in the entire world in an effort, presumably, to get them to do your bidding, whoever you are, right? Whoever the they is, whoever the people behind Epstein who gave him his money, because it's never been known where his money came from in the first place, really. I mean, he had some control of the fucking whatever. The point is, if we were to get the information from Ghislaine Maxwell about who the people are who were compromised and get them out of their positions of power so their compromise no longer affects us, that would be way more important and way more positively beneficial to the world than getting a pedophile helper kept in prison. So anyone who's like, oh, they shouldn't offer a deal to Ghislaine Maxwell because she's a child abuser. Yes, I get your point. You're fucking stupid and wrong, though. So that's all I have to say about that.
I did watch something interesting, which I would suggest that you watch. Tucker Carlson did a really good 1.5 hour, almost 2 hour interview with a lady on the Timothy McVeigh Oklahoma City bombing stuff and all of the holes in all of that story.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll tell you what, man, I was too young. I was only 10. No, not 7. I was 7 at the time. 6, 7 at the time when that happened. And yeah, way crazy stuff.
The thing to me anyway, and I haven't looked into it for a while, so I'm a little bit rusty as far as what information I remember what I don't, but the thing that stuck out to me the most when thinking about it is the fact that directly after the bombing, there was a nationwide manhunt for 2 people of interest, right? There was Timothy McVeigh, and there was another person who was with Timothy McVeigh on camera the day of the bombing inside of the Ryder van, who the video that they have shows Timothy McVeigh getting out of the van, this guy getting into the back of the van, doing something, and then running. So whoever this other guy was the guy who actually physically set the fucking bomb, right? Well, or at least checked on it right before. Anyway, and the nationwide manhunt went from, oh, it's Timothy McVeigh, who we know who he is, and this other person. And then they found Timothy McVeigh and they forgot about the other person. And it was like he never existed. And they never talked about him again.
Yes, and there's a bunch of stuff related to that person. And they caught someone who they thought was that guy, but wasn't that guy. And guess what? He ended up dead. And then the guy who was in his cell next to him, who talked about it and who tried to tell people that they killed this guy, he ended up dead too. There's a bunch of craziness that happened.
Right.
All
Well, I mean,
related to that.
If you have, I mean, that's how these conspiracies work, right? You have a small group of people who know everything, who are intimately involved in the planning and execution of whatever it is that we're talking about, be it the Kennedy assassination, 9/11, etc., whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And then after the fact, once the deed is done, once the usefulness of these people has been exhausted, if any of them get uppity, if any of them are a loose end that can't be trusted, if any of them, they don't have the dirt on them, they haven't been to the island. And I think that's part of it too, right? Like, if you really have to have secrecy about something, if you really want something to be top fucking secret, how do you get people to not talk about the thing?
Yeah.
You get dirt on them that they don't want anyone ever finding about ever.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's it. So, I think these, and it's not just the island. The Epstein Island thing is probably the most famous of them, but Jeffrey Epstein himself had different properties in Manhattan and Florida and, different places or whatever that he would take people to. And presumably these same activities would happen there as happen on the island. It's no different, so.
Well, extorting people is not new. J. Edgar Hoover did it. Hoover did it. They've been doing it since the beginning of time, man. Don't think that just because it's the one place. They're doing something else now. Like there's no way they're not.
This shit reminds me of Pinocchio, though. You know,
Oh,
Pinocchio,
have
where
you seen the video where that's direct correlation?
the little boys that go to Pleasure Island and return boy.
Dude, look at Nickelodeon's. There's a bunch of gross stuff about Nickelodeon, anyways. But you look at Nickelodeon and there's even the island is the Nickelodeon symbol, and a bunch of other like Disney things that are all created. That's not. There's no way that's a coincidence. It was done blatantly as like a sick, morbid joke or something in people's face. It's not just like I don't know, not just coincidence, man. These people are deep into it.
And going full circle, some people think that a lot of these Hollywood movies and like records, like like albums that come out, are actually spells that are being cast on people so that they can further their goals as Satanists or whatever. Like, there's some crazy shit, dude. And I'm not deep enough into it to fully understand it or even explain it. But I do know that it's out there, and I do know that people do believe in this shit.
Okay, so music has a profound effect on us as humans and as people. We can all admit that music does something to you when you hear a song, when a song is invoked. And I think it has something to do with your mind. I think there's a lot to do with vocal cords, and there's some real deep theology. So what is the name of God? Like Yahweh. So it goes to like when you lift your head up and breathe in and out, stuff like that. I know it's deep, kind of maybe fringy for some, but I believe in that. I also believe that if you look into scripture and look into Satan and Lucifer, you see what his role was in heaven prior to being expelled from heaven, which was like a worship leader. And then he was expelled from heaven. So what better way to use a tool of the world to possibly sway people away from living correctly? So,
dude, I don't know ultimately, because we're human, right? And we're stuck in this plane, we're stuck in this body, in this experience. There's only so much that you can know as an individual human. But I do know this, that there are lots of things that we don't understand. Even if you don't believe in spirituality or Christianity or anything like that, there are levels to existence that are beyond our ability to perceive as human beings. And the thought that this is all that there is, and that this is all that is affected, is what we know in the physical world, in the physical reality, I think is ignorant. I think that you think that because everything that you know is all that there is, that the reason that you think that is because we don't have the perception of what else there might be. And to think that this is all there is ignorant, I think, honestly. Like there could be more, and the very fact that there could be more, and like mathematically they've proven that like there's levels of dimensions stacked upon our own that are affected by what we do that we don't understand. You know, there's quantum physics principles that don't make sense to us that are physically true. That even if you believe in only what you can see and what you can affect in the physical reality and whatever, okay, now look into fucking quantum physics and explain that shit. Like, man, there's some crazy stuff going on. So yeah, like demons and angels and God and Satan and like all of that stuff is not beyond the realm of possibility, even within a specific, like a scientific mind only, right? If you're only speaking from a scientific mind, you still can't fucking discount that shit. You can't rule it out. So
I think it's etched on the heart of every human. I think that the existence of the creator and of God, you may not understand, but I think that's why like when people say like, well, how will people be judged when they didn't know about God? They've never been told. And I think that there's a theory that you'll be judged on what you did know and what you've been told. And that's why like people will be like pastors will be judged harshly because they knew the most, and judged at like a higher standard. And but how does the guy like on the island who's never seen a man, but like it's etched on his heart. He knows that like what's right and wrong. It's wrong to steal, but it's right to help. It's good to anyway, stuff like that. So I would agree with you.
Yeah, and I think what we do in this life, we will be judged for. I believe that, and that's a belief that I don't know like why I hold it so strongly. It's kind of weird that I hold it so strongly when I think about it, because there's not really good evidence for like, but there's just been times in my life where I feel like I'm being recorded. Like I feel like I'm being tested and measured and weighed and accounted for, so that later on evidence for or against me in some sort of weird fucking court system like who knows what it's gonna be, like standing at the pearly gates in front of who is it, St. Peter?
Right.
And he's got the long list of all of the deeds and of good and bad things that you've done in your life that must be read to you and to everyone before you're allowed to enter. I think that that's maybe metaphorically true. I think that, and maybe that's what eternity is just like going through this whole experience and like reliving it through different people's perspectives so that you can have complete understanding of everything good and bad that's happened in the world. Like how long would that take to do? Forever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's so I don't know. Is that what heaven is? Is that what eternity is? I'm not sure. It would be, I don't know, man. Like, I'm kind of looking forward to finding out, but I'm not in a hurry either. If you know what I mean.
Makes sense.
That's why Mormons believe in 3 levels of heaven, and they have very few people go to hell. You can only go to hell if you have tangible knowledge of the gospel and deny it.
How do you know they're not in hell? Were you there?
See, and I think hell's a place too. Or at least, like hell, actually. Go ahead.
Not nothing.
Well, I mean, where does Hitler go when he dies? Where does fucking, like where does a child rapist go when he dies?
From what I'm hearing, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to continue asking those kinds of questions. Go ahead.
No, from what I was told, for somebody, Hitler is still in purgatory on trial.
So they're still reading his list of deeds?
Yes.
Are you still having to answer for every little fucking thing? Well, I mean, that's like, if you did a bunch of bad shit, that sounds like hell to me. If you just have to like go over every little painstaking detail of every decision you've ever made for your entire life and you've led a bad life, like that's going to be a hell of a fucking court day, bro. Like you're going to be in court for a really long time, sweating fucking bullets and explaining shit.
Someone told me that who like lives in one of those missions, like one of those Christian missions, like a Salvation Army type of, shelter places. Yeah, he was saying that they taught him that Hitler is still on trial, and he's in purgatory.
Wow. Well, I mean, there's some people who believe that he didn't even die in like 1929 or what year was it? 45 when he fucking died when the war ended. Yeah, it was 45. You're right. Because a lot of Nazis went to Argentina. There's a lot of light-skinned blue-eyed Argentinians these days for some reason.
I'm quite sure there's a reasonable explanation for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, have you ever heard? Okay, everyone hates the Jews and Mossad. I get it. Blah blah blah. Right? Everyone hates Israel. Got it. Have you ever heard some of the stories of Mossad going after ex-Nazis and hunting them down in other countries?
Well, it's awesome.
Yep.
Oh, dude, there's some of the fucking coolest because they're like these dudes are not allowed to be there. You're not allowed to be in Argentina. You don't have the Argentinian government permission to even be in Argentina as an agent. So if you get caught, we have nothing to do with you. You're on your fucking own. You're fucked, right? So you got to get into Argentina, find your fucking target, hit them with a fucking poison dart or a silencer bullet, or you know what I mean, assassinate the motherfucker like fucking Hitman style, right? And then make it back with your fake passport through the port of entry and get on an airplane and they're cool fucking stories, dude. To kill Nazis, Jesus Christ, bro, that's the coolest fucking
Speaking of that, have you seen the news today of the Israelis assassinating reporters from Al Jazeera?
Al Jazeera?
Al Jazeera. I can't say that name. Al Jazeera.
Say Al.
Jizz. No,
Era.
that's it. Just Al Jizz.
Al Jazeera.
Yeah.
Al Jazeera.
Hey, did you see the videos of that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, it's
did
crazy. Yeah,
were they blowing up their cell phones or something?
I think it was an airstrike. Yeah, they was pulling out the bodies that were still on fire.
Were they in Gaza?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I did see a little bit of that. I saw pictures. I didn't really look into it very much. Was it obvious that they were killing fucking people who were in the press, or was it just a fucking airstrike and people?
No, they were saying they said that Israel came out and said no, we was targeting those journalists because they was part of Hamas.
Yeah, I don't know. Fog of war is a thing though, and just because you're a journalist doesn't mean you're safe if you're in a war zone. So journalists die all the time when they're in conflict areas because either a bomb goes off when it shouldn't or where it shouldn't, or an ambush happens, or whatever it is. So, and it seems to me that as much as I am against Israel's funding of what they're doing from America, I'm also against the Palestinians using television and imagery to further their own propaganda. There's been so many instances of fake bodies of children and scenes that are made up being fucking filmed and put out to the world as if they're real from Gaza,
Yeah.
So it's one thing if there's images of bodies being blown up and that's bad. It's the other thing if there's fake images of bodies being blown up and they're oh, look how bad it is, and everyone freaks out, and then you find out that it's not real. Now every time I see a video from you guys, every time I hear a story from you guys, I'm wondering, are you lying this time, or is this one real? So really, you hurt yourself in the long run doing that.
Yep.
Daniel dropped in a couple bucks. Said, heaven sounds a little hellish, to be honest. Yeah, where you just stand around worshiping all the time and singing and shit. I don't know. You just sit at the table with Jesus, though. That sounds pretty cool. And he gives you a house. You get a house in heaven. Do you get a car, too? Do you need a car? Can you just fly around and fucking do shit? Or do you have to show up to you know what I mean? I don't know. Are there obligations and stuff?
Yeah, like what did they do before cars? You know,
They just
a bunch
walked
of
everywhere.
horses, right?
Jesus had a donkey, didn't he?
Or a camel? Who knows?
He rode on a donkey.
Yeah, that's right.
But I think it was mostly foot travel and then horse and donkey. But in heaven, I don't think it talks about that. But I mean, I get what you're saying.
I really like motorcycles. Heaven wouldn't be heaven to me if there wasn't some kind of like a motorcycle track. You know what I mean? Like if I can't spend Saturday afternoon at the motorcycle track in heaven.
I saw a Grom on up. I seen a Grom up close today. I was really liking it. Yeah,
dude, Groms are badass. Do you know how many horsepower they make?
No.
9. But it doesn't matter because they're such a short wheelbase. Like you can wheelie those motherfuckers. If you can learn how to wheelie a Grom, you can wheelie anything. You know, and like it's so low risk because you're so low to the ground. It's such a small bike, and they're built so tough. You put crash bars and shit on it. Like that's kind of the bike that I want next. Either a Grom or some sort of Grom clone. Or Kawasaki makes a Z125, which is just basically a Kawasaki Grom.
Right.
MSB 9021 says houses in heaven. Wonder if they have HOAs.
Nah, that's definitely in hell.
Yeah,
that's definitely in hell.
Yeah, that is a invention of the devil. This is in the HOA. I don't know, man.
It
like,
has
I
H
get
in
an
front of the
HOA,
name.
like if you have a house and your neighbor has like boats and fucking shit and like disgusting things in his yard, let's say. I don't know. You still can't tell him what to do with it though. Like fuck you. Like why do you have the right to tell me that I can't have a boat in my front yard? If you hate it that much, you should go buy a house next to someone who doesn't have a boat in their front yard.
Yeah, but
I think I've seen that. Did he put up a fence with a picture of a boat on it? Is that the one you're talking about?
I don't know. No,
I think it's within reason because if you agree to some certain set of rules and standards when you buy the house that are not unreasonable. I understand when it's unreasonable.
Yeah. And I agree with that.
You can't have 2 cars parked in the garage or in the driveway, or 3 cars is unacceptable. People can't I saw one video where this woman was like, we saw that you had overnight guests, and she's like, yeah, my sister came over, and they're like, oh, you can't have overnight guests. Like that's crazy. But not having a bunch of trash out or not taking care of your lawn when you pay high taxes to live in the village city limits or a city I think I'm okay with that, but it's within reason. So
yeah, but a lot of them go beyond reason, and
they do.
And the fees get exorbitant because they're spending hundreds of dollars a month to be in part of this, or whatever. It's like, God damn, bro, like you got to pay your mortgage, you got to pay your insurance, you got to pay all of these things to have your house, and then they're just tacking on fucking shit on top because they know you got the money,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I was talking about was there was a situation where the HOA didn't want a boat in front of his house, so he told him to put up a fence to block it. So he put up a fence, but he painted the fence of the boat that he's blocking.
Yeah, I saw that. It's super funny. That's really funny. Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen them where they're like, oh, well, your trash can can't be more than 3 feet away from the side wall of your house, so we're going to go ahead and have to fine you. And it's like, it's 3.5 feet away. Like, did you measure it? Yeah, we measured it. It's actually 7 inches further from the wall than we allow. Like, oh my God, dude. Like, that kind of shit can fuck off. And yeah, like, no overnights, or you park too many cars. Like, at a point, yeah, like, if it looks like you're running a used car lot out of your front yard,
Yeah.
Like, okay, like we should probably do something about that. If you have 3 teenage children who each have their own car, and you and your wife have a car, so there's 5 cars, and you only have a 1 car or 2 car garage or whatever it is.
Yep.
Then what are you gonna do? You got to have cars parked in the parking lot or in the driveway or on the fucking street or whatever. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
But it's not exorbitant. I mean, if you can say yeah, there's 5 of us and we have 5 cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Shut the fuck up. If you're like, hey, there's 5 of us and we have 12 cars and 7 of them don't run.
Right. Then there's a
I don't know.
Now we got a problem.
Yeah,
Right.
that's kind of shit makes sense, I guess. But then again, it's bro, if I want to have 7 cars that I'm working on because I can get them for cheap and I know how to fix them, and it looks like a mess right now, you're walking in the middle of surgery, man. Leave me the fuck alone. I kind of get the other side too. Fucking leave people alone. I don't know. I go back and forth. I never owned a house either, so maybe if I owned a house and I didn't have an HOA, and then I had a shitty fucking neighbor who was doing things and there wasn't anything I could do about it, then I'd probably be advocating pretty hard for HOAs. So I think it just depends on your own experience. You can have those cars in your yard. It's called the ghetto, says X.
yeah, this is true.
Why can't you flip used cars on your property? Where are you going to buy cheap used cars from? Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of what I'm saying, bro. Maybe 7 broke down cars in your front yard's a little excessive, but if you got 2 or 3 you're working on, shut the fuck up, everybody. I'm making some side money. And I don't think that there should be any, my brother's neighbor, right? And he was all proud of this because my brother's a dick. He was running a side business where he was working on motorcycles in his garage, right? Put out an advertisement, created an LLC, did all the things, and he was fixing local people's motorcycles out of his garage. And then my brother got annoyed at the motorcycles going up and down the road all the time by his house. So he figured out some bylaw in the HOA where you're not allowed to have, it was some sort of materials and environmental protection type shit from running a fucking thing in your garage. And he didn't have the zoning to do it out of a residential neighborhood. And did all this lawyer shit to get the guy. God damn it, dude. You're an asshole. Leave him alone. Anyway. My friend's house gets fined $50 for the trash. Also, road parking overnight was $100 fine. I parked there, and when we went out late, came back, and there was a ticket on my window. She had to pay. Bearded Potato says, I've got a house in rural Idaho. Oh, swear the neighbor is running a meth lab, but he's nice and didn't bother nobody. I think one should do most anything with what's theirs. Excellent. Excellent English.
Until he blows up.
Yeah, you burn down your house and then you burn down my house because your house burnt down.
Right.
I worry about that in an apartment building sometimes. It's all of my shit's in here. And if any one of these dumbass retarded fucking fucks, these faggots, decide that they're gonna do some meth or whatever it is, and blow up their apartment and burn the place down. Or not even that. They're just doing something stupid and then burn the place down. Well, there's all my shit,
Yep.
Yep.
And you've got insurance, I've got renter's insurance, but are they going to replace my entire arsenal of guns? I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. Are they going to replace all 3 of the computers and all of the electronics and, like
Well,
maybe
first
some of
off,
it?
just hope you don't be there when it happens. That's the
Well, there-
first thing.
Yeah, well, yeah. Assuming you don't burn to death, yeah, I
Right.
guess that would be the first concern.
Or your kids being there too.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Most homeowners insurance will only cover like 3 guns, so you may want to look into getting more if you're ever in that situation. Just to say, it's not that much. I do it. I think it's an extra like. It's like
Dude,
it's like dollars a year or something.
what I
like
want to do is find a place that has an actual basement, like an old school concrete fucking basement with those little windows that you can't even fucking slip through that are, 'cause they're like that style.
Yeah.
And then turn it into a man cave.
Oh
Put
yeah,
a fucking
and then
big,
yes,
like big heavy fucking metal door on it with a lock.
yeah, yes, that's the way to do it.
Then it's like the whole place burns down, but the fucking basement's good. Like,
Yep. That's where I'm holding out, baby.
oh, dude, there's got to be like houses because, like, I was looking around, like a lot of those houses were built, like 100 years ago plus.
Uh-huh.
Some of them have to have like old World War II bomb shelters and shit.
Oh yeah.
There's got to be some of that around. How cool would it be to fucking buy a house
And to find it,
and then find like what's behind this door? There's like there's like 100-year-old fucking MREs and shit.
yeah.
Yeah, right. Or like those Cold War shelters.
Most of them I've seen are flooded. It makes me sad. The ones that are in people's yards, when they'll like mow the lawn and they'll find something, and they like rip open the hatch and then it's flooded, but they've gone in there and they find like, or there's some of them that are not flooded, like out west, and there'll be like canned goods in there, and it's just because the dad like he just put grass over it and shut the lid, and okay, we're alive by 75, probably are not going to die, and they just abandoned them and didn't think about it being this like really huge draw. And I've seen a bunch of videos on like TikTok and YouTube of people finding them. That's really cool to me.
That would be really that's like a dream, dude. Is like buying a house and like wandering around and then finding some like hidden door, and being like, oh my god.
Well, I had a friend in high school who had a house that was done up like Bilbo Baggins. It was like in a hill. His whole house was built into a hill. And think about how like cool that is. Like, first off, that's just awesome. It was super cool in the summer, no AC needed because he was in the ground. And that would be my like big love would be, build a house into a mountain. When I lived in California on Mount Shasta, it was a road, not like the Mount Shasta, but there was a Mount Shasta was like a road by me or next to me, and there was a house built into the side of the mountain. It was awesome. Just some dude living up there in a side of a mountain, man.
That's always been like if I had like won the lottery for like a whole bunch of money, like $250 million, like 250 million, something like that,
Mm-hmm.
I would buy an entire foothill in Colorado. So like the foothills in Colorado are mountains anywhere else, but you're in Colorado, so they call them foothills here. They're just like the little mini mountains that are in front of the mountains that are on like the front range that are closer to civilization.
Mm-hmm.
And you can buy a whole ass one, right?
Yeah.
And then dig into the middle of it and build a fucking bunker, and like, damn, that'd be cool, dude. Like nothing can touch you. You'd be like NORAD, like mini NORAD.
Yeah, it would be awesome. Really, really awesome.
It's not a house; it's a hobbit hole.
Yeah,
not full of oozy smells. Yeah. We're still house hunting, says MSB. We don't have an HOA now and refuse to get a house under a HOA. See, and like, man, there's so many stories though about the HOAs being dicks. that it kind of turns a guy off from wanting, like as long as your neighbors are reasonable, you won't even need an HOA. But that's the thing, is you never know if your neighbors are going to be reasonable.
Yep.
So you guys got any guns that you're looking at these days, or anything cool? Anything you're doing these days? I don't have money for guns these days. I've been spending my money on living.
Yeah, I don't have any money to even look at guns. So.
Are the gun stores really slow right now, Mr. Lawfully Armed?
It's picking up.
You need a good old fashioned gun scare again, and then you'll be happy.
That's no good for anybody. All the manufacturers from Europe are all threatening to raise prices. They're all saying they're going up like 20%.
Why? Is it tariffs?
That's what they cite. I think that's the scare tactic to get people to buy now, or at least to get dealers to stock up now.
That's pretty smart.
Isn't ammo supposed to go up because of copper imports?
I don't know. I know ammo's not getting cheaper. Like the tariff on Brazil is going to make the MagTech ammo like double. File the MagTech.
Wait, you said the sheriff from Brazil is going to make the MagTech ammo go up? Is that what you said?
Tariff.
Oh, tariff. I thought you said the sheriff. I was like...
It's the ammo sheriff.
It's going up $1 Brazilian.
Yep. How many bullets?
It's the ammo czar.
How many bullets are they going to shoot? A Brazilian? Use lottery winnings to set up a modeling agency. Oh my god! Then build a harem for you in the Mountain Kingdom, and then I'll invite rich and influential people to come to my mountain hideout and get massages from my harem of modeling agency teenage girls.
That sounds familiar.
And there'll be hidden cameras and microphones. You might be able to get a P320 for almost free soon. Okay. Can I ask you?
Okay, hold on. Somebody was arrested in connection to that, and I want to know why.
Yes.
What was the deal with that? I haven't heard that.
I don't know, but
who talked about it? I think Cody on Noir just talked about it. He dropped a new video yesterday about it, I think.
I would check Yankee's channel, because every video that he makes these days is about the P320, as if it's like the only thing that's going on in the world is P320. Hi, I'm the Yankee Marshal. Have you heard about the P320 thing? Hey, they blah, 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 blah. And he just talks about the P320. Like every other fucking video that he makes is about the P320. Did he get a bunch of views on his P320 video? And he's like, ooh, I got to do more of that. That's my Yankee voice.
Excellent.
I don't know what's going on. Is there that much information and material about the P320 where you could make multiple like 15, 20-minute videos about it?
It gets the clicks, man. It's in the news cycle.
But what's going on? Like what happened with who was arrested?
Another airman was arrested. Evidently there was some horseplay. And one shot the other.
So it wasn't just sitting at the desk.
No, evidently one shot the other, whether intentionally or accidentally. They arrested him for the manslaughter and then the falsifying report.
So it wasn't sitting on the desk. He
Maybe
shot
not.
Who the hell in the military is horseplaying with fucking guns?
I'm going to tell you this. It's all of us.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm going to be honest with you. It was everybody was doing dumb stuff. I mean, like,
granted, you're Marines. It's different for Air Force. Come on now.
Like, I'll tell you the whole, like, oh, yes, rifle. Like, no, man. I saw dudes doing the most wildest things. And there was a dude who got killed in 29 Palms when I was there, like, at the end of my enlistment. Because No, was it 29 Palms? Was it? Something. I think it was 29 Palms. A kid shot himself in the head with an M9 because the corporals were playing this game with all their, like the squad leaders would play this game called Do You Trust Me? And what it was you were supposed to, you don't show them the gun. You walk into a room, you hand him a gun, you say, "Do you trust me?" And you're supposed to say, "Yes, Corporal." You take the gun, you point it to your head, and you pull the trigger. And it's to show that you trust him without checking it, and to show him like your unwilling support and allegiance. Well, somebody put a round in the gun, and the kid shot himself in the head and killed himself.
Jesus.
So, like, yeah, like horrible, right? But like stuff like that. Another dude at gate guard duty was doing a thing where he was messing around with his buddy and had an M4. He walked into like the guard shack where they were all hanging out and just flipped the gun up and like went to like point the gun and pointed at his buddy, shot him through the chest and killed the kid. Didn't mean to, but he was forcing around. Like, and that's just a couple of them. Then like I can remember like the last like year I was in that happened, and that was, I mean, I talked to another guy. I'll tell you 5 more stories. So I'll tell you, it is not like safety central.
So this guy's saying the guy got charged with criminal negligence, involuntary manslaughter, which would indicate recklessness, something like he was fucking around with the trigger and the gun, pointing it where he shouldn't have shot.
Yep.
And shot his partner, for example. The gun going off on its own in its holster on the desk or whatever wouldn't qualify recklessness or negligence or manslaughter.
Yeah, they're not arresting him because he set this gun on the counter and it was pointed in the wrong direction. They arrested him because they were messing around. Okay, wow, that changes everything, but still, gosh.
I mean, I wonder how many times, because like okay, let's say you carry a P320 and you're fucking around and it goes off, right? You didn't kill anybody, but like goes off in the bathroom when you're taking a shit and you were playing with a fucking gun and it goes off, right? Wouldn't you be like, oh, it was in the holster and then it just went off? Like, I would fucking say that shit.
Yeah.
I'd try to cover my ass. I wonder how many of those stories are like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you? Like let's say you did something stupid. You knew you shouldn't have been doing it. The gun goes off. No one got hurt. There's just a hole in a tile in the bathroom now, you know? Like, but you're going to get fired if they know that you were fucking around, but you were carrying a P320. How many people, show of hands, raise your right hand, you're all on camera. No one's on camera. And admit that you fucking, you too would be like, oh, I don't know what happened.
Yep.
These damn P320s are unsafe, man.
Yep.
Well, that's why I say that's, I'll agree that probably more than half of the law enforcement incidents were probably negligence.
I will admit that I did get caught horse playing with our drill rifles back in when I was at ROTC, and our command sergeant major yelled at me for doing that.
That's why I tell people you got to lock your guns up, because you know what we were doing when we were kids. When we would go to my family's house, we get into all the guns and shoot and run around and play with guns, with real guns. Okay, like that's what kids do, and that's what we did. That we ran around with real guns, made sure they were unloaded. But when we would go to friends and families' houses, that's what we would do. And that's just how kids get shot. And I get it, but I'm just saying, like, people play with guns. That's what kids do. I mean, we were running around. We were pointing at each other's shirt. But
Jesus,
is it safe? No. I'm just telling you what we did as kids. It's stupid. That's why I keep mine locked up.
MSB dropped in 5 and said, important note for airmen, do not play Russian roulette with a semi-auto.
Right. It's just that's sad, man, because if they charged them, that means they've got enough, and they've I mean, like, this, there's more to that story, which is
what, dude? You are right. I was just thinking about that time we said that one Marine that ate the C4. So
I'm
horse
telling
playing with guns is not
I'm
that
telling
far off. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
He ate the C4.
I told you this story. We were in Japan. We were in mainland Japan doing like jungle operations or something like that. And this dude, he ate some of the C4, and he like tried to be tough to the new guys, and he started having a seizure because he ate C4, and then the other sergeant was punching him and smacking him like, "Wake up! Stop having a seizure!" And he wouldn't stop having a seizure. I thought he was going to die. I thought we were all going to fry because this kid ate C4 and was having a seizure. I was like, "Oh, we're done. We're all going to go to the brig. We're all going to done." And he finally woke up, and I was for sure he had brain damage for the rest of the time I knew him.
Was he all fucking retarded after that?
He
He was obviously retarded before that.
He was
So.
already before, but afterwards he was never right. And yeah, man, when we got back,
How
I
much
was
did he
like,
eat? Like a fucking like a teaspoon worth, or what are we talking?
Like a bite. He bit a chunk off and ate it.
Like he's eating an apple. He just takes like a bite of an apple.
Yeah, like they
Oh
come
my
in.
God, bro!
It looks like Play-Doh.
I wonder what it tastes like.
Oh, I no, dude, no.
I can't imagine it tastes good.
It's like a brick of cheese, like a long like a Rice Krispie, like a big Rice Krispie. You know, like the big ones. That's exactly what it's like. A big, like a rectangular Rice Krispie. And he just bit into it. He was trying to look cool. I was like, "Oh no, that's not. Oh no, this is gonna be so bad." It was horrible.
I wonder how many dudes have like ex-Marines have some shit that they shouldn't have in their house. You know, it's like, I swiped this from never accounted for this fucking whatever. You know,
I worked on the range at the very end of my time. I worked on not like the rifle range, but like the larger ranges where you like they drop bombs and where like whole divisions will have like mini wars and where guys are lobbing mortars and dropping like crazy stuff at tanks or shooting stuff. Well, I worked on these ranges where I would just I would rebuild them. So like a battalion element would come through with helicopters and tanks and infantry, and they would like blow up little towns. And then I was a part of the crew that would like rebuild the town and reset up the targets, and the little green targets that would fly up, they would shoot. Anyways, so I worked at that last 6 months I was in. We would find all kinds of crazy stuff. And the first thing they said was, "Hey, we know you work at the range, so we're going to come check your rooms like whenever we want to. So if you steal stuff, we'll catch you." Because we'd find like, I'd find unexploded ordnance. I'd find grenades. I'd find all kinds of like all the like full boxes of ammo, which I was so close to getting out. I was like, dude, it's none of it's worth it. Because they're going to catch you. They're going to find you. I always thought they had tracking stuff in it, which they never did. But I was freaked out about it. But there was a kid, and guess what? He had took like some mortars, some grenades, and like some other wild stuff and just put them in his wall locker. And we were at work, and somebody did like a health and comfort inspection where they actually can go through your stuff. Opened up his wall locker and found like a couple of mortars and grenades, and he went to the brig because he got like all the charges, because he got like theft, like they threw some terrorism charges on there or something. The guy, he went to the brig like forever. Like he was like, I'm like, dude, you're gonna get caught. But yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch of dudes with stuff that they were, they got off bases. But man, no, it was just the thought of getting caught was too much for me. I was too straight laced.
Damn, yeah. Yeah, it's probably smarter to be straight laced in that case because you're not like in a position. You know what I mean?
Well, I just
maybe one thing if like you had like a bunch of money and you could pay some people off, and then you'd have like a network of dudes working together to like smuggle things back to the country. I'm not giving anyone ideas, I hope.
No.
Or if you were smart enough where you just didn't keep it on base and you drove it off the base, and you lived in your own private house like off base, or you drove it home like on leave. I guess that, but I always thought like these guys that lived in the barracks, like there was some guy in Hawaii who got caught with a gun. He got caught with a pistol on on base, like some filed off serial numbered gun.
Oh Jesus!
And they go through your stuff. It's like prison. I mean, the Marines at least they got there's no privacy. They go through all your stuff because they want to find booze and drugs.
Yeah, I mean, if you go on base, they have the right to search you. They can search you.
And you have no rights when you're in the military. They can just do whatever. And when I was in, who are you going to cry to? Like, I had no social media. Like, who am I crying to? Yeah, dudes who cried and went and tattled, even if they were doing something messed up, your life just got 10 times worse. So, like, if they were hazing you, like when I got to my unit, like when I got attached to the combat engineers for Iraq, the corporal woke me up on a Sunday morning.
Hey, is somebody outside? Because I could barely hear them. Like, there's a wind blowing.
There was a truck. This corporal came into my room and he was drunk as all get up. And he was like, oh, we're going for a gas mask run in the middle of Okinawa summer, which is illegal. You can't go on gas mask run in the middle of Okinawa, you'll die. And he did. And he ran past the lieutenant. I'm not saying nothing, man. I'm just doing it. Because when you do say something and cry about it, your life's gonna be 10 times worse. So no, there's a bunch of illegal stuff they do, man, but just don't say nothing. I knew one dude who went and ratted, and we beat him up. we beat him up because he ratted on our platoon sergeant because he was crying about getting his rack flipped over, and he went to the base commander, which is like lieutenant colonel or something, and cried about it. And then the base commander was like, is this sergeant mean to you? I was like, oh no, he's great to us. I was like, he's the best. I was not ratting him out. Are you serious? I was like, no, we beat that kid up later. Oh, dude. And that guy was horrible, but I'm not gonna be the guy. No way.
I could listen to Duke stories all night.
No, my dude's name
These
was
shits
Schultz.
are funny.
Remember that time when the gay Jedi used to come on here and he told the story about getting a blowjob?
Yes.
And it was the worst story ever that anyone has ever told. Not because it was just not like the story itself wasn't bad. It was just the way he told the story made you want to just fucking kill yourself by the time he fucking got to the point of anything. Anyway, those are not good military stories. Calhoun says, read my last chat. It's just a joke, by the way. How much? Wait, I don't know how much I would say, but if you live near base, sometimes you might meet someone that can get you things that were lost for the right price. It wasn't a setup.
There's a whole lot of guys in supply that are in Leavenworth.
Yeah, the thing is, you get caught with there's these M16s that are on base that they can lose and you can buy, right? Now you've got a full auto M16 that was ex-military kind of, actually current military, but it's stolen now and you have possession of it. And you file off the numbers and you make, you know what I mean? You do what you can, but somehow they catch you with it, however that is. Bro, you're going to jail for a minute. I don't know how long, but I don't know if it's worth it.
No.
Buy a gun.
They're always gonna catch you.
Just buy a gun.
There's some dude who got caught. He got caught, and they had him on record stealing $1.2 million worth of razors. It was at some army base, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, that dude went to jail forever. No way, dude. No way.
What are you gonna do with $1.2 million worth of razors?
Well, it's probably over time, and he was probably selling them, and it was probably at some recruit station. So he probably had access to sell. I mean, because think about it, if you had $1 million worth of Bic razors, just sell them online. But it's probably what he was doing.
50 cents on the dollar when you don't have anything in them.
Yeah.
Ends up being a whole lot of free money.
Yeah, it's what he had access to. But there's a bunch of theft that was going on, and I'm sure it was harder to catch in the early days or the days without computers and stuff. But that's what even when I was in 2006, they could always track things. I told you, there was a guy an admin that got caught because if you're married, you make more money. You get off base housing allowance, and you get like food allowance. You make a good chunk better than unmarried Marines. So there was a guy in the admin section that you would pay like $500 or $600 to, and he would mark you in the system as married. So you would get like $1,000 more a month. And he did that to like 35 guys before he got caught. And he went to jail for like 13 years.
Can you imagine going to jail for 13 years for $500 a pop times 35 people?
Yeah.
Like that's what is that? $17,000?
Yeah, but then those people got paid. So they like it was a huge ring. They all got hit. Like, no, dude.
That's just so long in prison for not very much money.
Yeah, I told you the story. Yeah, about the dude who got caught. I told this before. The guy who went and bought some cocaine in Mexico and then brought it. He just bought like an 8-ball, like or whatever, like less than an 8-ball, whatever. Like I don't know,
like a personal amount,
a personal amount of cocaine.
Yeah,
he brought it across the border. So he like went and partied. He went across the border, got some cocaine. It got wet. He brought it to the barracks room. He dried it out. Him and his roommates did the cocaine, and then they end up getting like one of them popped on a piss test and then told the whole story. So they got him for transportation, manufacturing, and distribution because he transported it across the border.
Oh my god!
He dried it in the barracks, so he got manufacturing and then distribution. He handed it to the next Marine.
Oh,
and he got like 20 years, and they would broadcast these things, and young Duke was like, "Nope, I want nothing to do with anything."
Oh my god, dude! I can't imagine doing 20 years for a bag of coke.
But that's how strong the pendulum flew. Because you got to remember, like the Reagan era, everybody was smoking weed in the military, and then it like swung the whole other way. And when I was in, it was I don't know, and it's weird too, man. They like enjoy it, like your higher ups enjoy destroying Marines' careers. Like DUI, if you get a DUI, when I was in, you get a DUI, you're definitely getting kicked out. You're definitely getting kicked out of the Marines. You smoke weed, you're definitely getting kicked out.
The Trump administration is talking about reclassifying weed right now, actually.
That's crazy. As not a drug?
Well, I mean, it's whatever the classification is right now. It's considered like no medical use, like worst fucking drug that you can take kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they might reclassify it to like a lower standard where like, I don't know what the equivalent would be, but
yeah, it's currently a Schedule 1 narcotic.
Like morphine or something.
So is there an example of like a Schedule 3 narcotic or something? Like something that's like not Schedule 1?
I mean, they could make a Schedule 3 narcotic.
I don't know. Like I was having this argument the other day. Like as far as like workman's comp cases go, right? Companies love people who smoke weed because let's say you run a construction company and you hire a guy who smokes weed, and then he puts a nail through his foot at some point, right? If you're a normal worker who is totally legit and is, could piss clean on a piss test and all that stuff, and you put a nail through your foot, well, now you've got a workman's compensation case. You're going to have to pay a bunch of money. He's going to need time off of work that you're going to have to pay for, blah, 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 blah. But if he smokes weed and he puts a nail through his foot, he's going to put some duct tape on his foot, maybe go home early one day, and then show up to work the next day like nothing happened, and you don't have to pay a fucking thing. So they love that, right? Because if you do the whole workman's comp thing, right, like you put the nail through your foot and you smoke weed and now you have to piss in the cup, well, now you're fired. Your workman's case coverage is denied. Like all of these things happen that are bad and you don't get any fucking benefits at all. So it's better for you to just shut your fucking mouth, not cost the company any money, even if it had nothing like putting the nail through your foot, like you weren't even high for the last week, let's say. But if you piss in the cup, so like it has nothing to do with you smoking weed. It has everything to do with their insurance liability and their willingness to pay for things. So it needs to change. That's something that people are being left without coverage for intentionally by industry, by design, in a lot of cases. And I don't think anyone's really looking at it like that. I think that's a unique perspective that most people don't have. Anyway, I have nothing to follow that with. Someone come up with something.
Well, back on military theft, it's not always the big ticket items. It's definitely not the stuff that's guns or gun adjacent things. The big stuff is in the things that are not serialized, that are stuff you would find in a surplus store, pots and tents and stuff like that. That's what those guys walk off with. Dermode body armor. Occasionally, somebody will score a pair or two of nods, but those, of course, are serialized. Same thing with optics. Those guys that steal that stuff, it ultimately catches up with them.
We need another one of those Palmetto State Armory AR or what was it? Fucking optics sales that they did, where you could get a fucking Crossfire for like $35. Remember that? Oh my god! I think I sold like 50 fucking red dots that night. Anyway. Well, shit, boys. I'm running out of things to talk about, and I have like some shit that I got to do, and I kind of want to cut it short a little bit. Would anyone be extremely mad at me if I said adieu at this point right now? A whole 15 minutes ish early. Can I leave 15 minutes early, boss?
Yes, because we should talk about Beto O'Rourke funding Democrats.
Yeah, man. Enjoy it. This was fun. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.
Yeah. Okay.
See you, dude.
Well, we'll be back next time on Tuesday night for a little E-Honda action or apolitical biker action or Mad Mark action or whatever the fuck I want. Mark Nines is the other channel name that I was thinking about doing. You guys like Mark Nines? Because that's like really close to my actual real name.
Mark Nines. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I think you should put it to a vote.
All right. Well, next chat we'll put that to a vote. We'll see what you guys say. I bet most people are like, go back to E Honda 420. Watch. Anyway.
Yeah, because like, what if you want to actually copyright your name at some point? So you probably couldn't use E Honda. So
it's more like, hey, if I was like a guest on CNN, right? And they were like, this is a political biker. That sounds a little bit better than this is E Honda 420.
Right.
It's all an alias, I guess. You're saying my name sounds gay? Fuck you, Calhoun. All right, boys. Well, deuces, y'all. Shut up, Ian Fridge, Trooper to Shabanaba to Pressure Batakath Care Prick the Troops, 2 words made in America. And we'll see y'all next time. Deuces.